Hello, everyone. We're now talking about Undead Unluck, and the chapter itself was actually pretty good, where it's sort of the conclusion of this arc, and we'll find out more stuff afterward. So we find out that the two under people that were there actually had a third one, and it was whoever the new unseen negator was, and he wants to kill Fuuko real bad. We end up getting more flashback about Anno Un, and we see that he was struggling trying to make his comic to get more of the story as he kept flashing to Andy and Fuuko. He ended up realizing that Andy would be in Japan around his time to learn sword techniques. He ventures out to go see him, which he then does see him, thus knowing his visions are real, and tries to talk to them, but ends up realizing that negators have their own hardships, each one, as the person who was teaching Andy wanted to sleep with Andy, but Andy basically says no and moves on. We then see some of the tragic backstory of the other round table members, just small snippets, and then we find out what would happen in the regular timeline, where they would fail. They would not be able to kill God, as they all would die except for Andy because they lost Fuuko. We learned throughout the chapter that Fuuko was meant to die at a specific day, which then causes Andy to completely, lose faith, and then Victor comes back out. And I guess Victor probably, if I had to guess, maybe kills Jui, so she stops suffering, and they lose the whole thing. So Anno Un tries to figure out a way to kind of prevent that and tell them the story, so he incorporates the story into his manga to try to give them something, and then he wants to try to fix the timeline. So he prioritizes the battle with Autumn, which he knew the real version, which was that they would be fighting Autumn, and then on that day the Unseen would kill Fuuko. In the regular timeline, we cut back to present day after his flashback of trying to figure out a way to stop that, and we see that Andy just comes back in time as the Unseen starts making his way towards Fuuko. The moment Andy comes back to regular, Anno Un basically tells him to do a circle cut or something, kind of gives him a warning, and he does a big area of effect attack, which then saves Fuuko because it kills the Unseen. And because of that, now the future has changed. He does not know what the future is, and he tells them that he doesn't know now because he quote unquote fixed it with Fuuko being alive, which is very interesting that they changed the whole fate of the world. Whether that means they'll succeed or not, I actually don't know, but it is an interesting point that the whole thing was about keeping Fuuko alive, that she could change things. Akira is his real name, and so he was able to succeed and save her and even Andy to that degree. So we'll end up seeing if he lives. If he lives despite losing both his arms, I don't know if he will, but it'll be interesting. And we'll also now see if the future is set in stone still, or if things have changed. So these next few chapters should be fun, as I say for pretty much all of these manga, but it's the truth. And yeah, overall I would give it a B. It was a pretty good chapter. It'd be a high B. It was a very good chapter. So if you enjoy my ramblings, please leave a like, and as always, thank you for watching.